Hey, Flosstube. Stephanie had asked for us to show us her kitty, or our kitties. So, Buster has been seen before, but this is Dharma. She's very shy. She's usually the cat that people don't know that we have because she hides. She's not real happy about being held at the moment. But anyway, let's see if we can do this. Alright, darling. She's very little. Yeah, darling, you can go down. She's now hiding under the chair well, now she's exploring again. She is 3 years old now. Actually, she'll probably be 3 in a couple of months. So we still consider her our kitten. And she is, hold on, she's into everything. That closet's not normally shut, so she's trying to figure out why that door is shut and can she get in there. She's into everything. And, as a matter of fact, here's Buster. Oh, he is our big boy. All 12, 13 pounds of him. Oh. He will let me hold him like a baby for hours on end. This could go on forever. But that's Buster. I was going to do this video today because I wanted to do the tags that were going around. So, which is why I'm in a different location. I'm up in my guest bedroom. Because I actually store a lot of my stitching stuff that I'm not working on up here. So, rather than take a bunch of stuff downstairs and figure it out, it was just easier to do this up here. So, let's do Adele's tag first. The For Realz Tho tag. For Realz Tho, what level of stitcher do you consider yourself to be? I'm by no means an expert. Like, I don't have a big head and think that I am when I know I'm not. There's a lot of stuff that I've never done. There's a lot of stitches I've never attempted. There's a lot of stitches I would probably really struggle with. So I would say, but I'm not a beginner because I've been stitching for like 20 years. So I would say intermediate, and yes, darling, that's a pen. I had a pen writing a couple of notes down, and Dharma has found it. And, why do we even buy our cats toys? Because yesterday my husband was like, I don't think she's really smart. Because there was a sunbeam coming through the window, and she was leaping up in the air trying to attack dust particles. That's my cat. She's real smart. Anyway, what was I saying? So I would consider myself kind of an intermediate stitcher. But like if I were going to rank myself from like 1 to 10, maybe a 6, maybe a 5, I don't know. In the middle. For Realz Tho, how many whips and UFOs do you honestly have? This includes things you gave up on and threw out. I've never actually thrown anything out. I have a whip that I'm angry at, that I don't like, that I have put in a different location. It's not in my... I have 2 bins of whips that are my current projects. It's not in there. And I honestly think maybe I just need to restart it. And I need to restart it on fabric that I like better and with the knowledge that I have now, because I don't think it has a lot of fractional stitches, and that's definitely why I would call myself an intermediate stitcher, because when I started it, my fractional stitches were ones that had been done on Ada, and no one ever, because I was self-taught, explained to me that on linen a fractional stitch is different. And like, it was Letitia, I think, actually sent me, because I asked for help, and she had sent me like okay, Emily, let me break it down for you and draw you a picture of it, because I'm a very visual learner. So now that I have more knowledge, I might restart that, because I wasn't that far into it. It was Fulton Mansion by Nancy Spruance. I love the house. I think it's a lovely piece, but I would want to pick different fabric, and I would want to do the stitches correctly on linen. Sorry. Buster's playing with... I actually have my phone plugged in so it doesn't try to die again, and he was... his tail got caught on the cord as he was wandering by to see what I was doing. But that's just the one that is a UFO. As far as whips that I'm actually working on, I think I have 9 now. That's a lot for me. That's the highest I've ever been at. And it's probably going to go up by 1 or 2 more in the next couple of months. Oh well. 3. For reals though, are you enabled easily? Yeah, I am. And I think that's very apparent with my starts and the stash that I acquire. And I guess in a way it's a fear of missing out, but a large part is in regards to the stash. I'm really worried that something will be discontinued or go out of print, and I won't be able to find it anymore, or if I do find it, it'll be that chart on eBay that somebody thinks that, you know, they're charging $100 for it. I'm cheap. I'm a social worker. I don't have $100 to be throwing around on cross-stitch patterns. So if I like it and I think I might want to stitch it one day, I just go ahead and buy it and I put it in my stash. And I rationalize it and say, you know what? If when the day comes and I decide it's not my taste anymore and I don't want it, I'll just resell it on eBay. It's not a big deal. But yes, I'm definitely easily enabled. For reals though, do you suffer from Stitcher's attention deficit disorder? Yeah, I think I do, because I think that's why my whip number went from 1 to 9 as quickly as it did in the past year, and I think that's why there are whips in here that I haven't worked on in a while. But that's okay. It's alright. I really think that I am a process stitcher. And that's okay. Do I want finishes? Absolutely. And will I get them? Yes, I will. But if it takes, you know, a while for me to finish something, so be it. And I'm really good at, when I'm goal-oriented, staying focused. Cat hair. Staying focused. If I know I need to, like if it's a gift. I had done the plum pudding conversion for my mother-in-law last year, and I mean, I stitched nothing but that for like 2 months and finished it. I can do it if I have to. Have you ever finished a full coverage project, a head, a Tilton Crafts, etc.? If the answer was no, how far have you gotten? No, I haven't. I haven't, and the one that I have the farthest on is actually in the box that my phone is leaning on. So, how far have you gotten? That would be my Heaven and Earth design piece, my Summer by Alphonse Mucha, and it has not gotten any more on it since the last time you guys saw it. And, you know, we've discussed how big this Mamma Jamma is previously, so that's how far I've gotten. For reals though, do you enjoy confetti? Let's discuss why that is only as far as I've gotten on this piece. Because when I got started on it, there wasn't a lot of confetti. This is actually, like, there's some confetti, but this is a lot of blocks of color. And some of this is, like, in here, it's just blocks of color. But when you would get into the center of these flowers, it got crazy. I don't enjoy that. It's not fun for me. I don't like it. I don't want to do everything in one color, but I'm not a lover of the confetti. Absolutely not. For reals though, how many finishes do you have this year so far, and how does this compare to your whip UFO number from question 2? I have one. I have one finish. Hey Dharma. She's climbing on the chair, so if everything collapses down on top of me, you know what happened. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, Pumpkin. So I have one finish, and it was a teeny tiny little finish. I'm thinking I'll finish a couple of more projects this year, and no, it doesn't bother me, because like I said before, I'm a process stitcher. It's okay. For reals though, do you have any perhaps embarrassing, dirty little stitchy secrets? I actually thought about this, and I think that these are things that I told Adele when she was doing the stitching confessionals before. But, like, one of them is, if it is a heavy confetti piece, and there's, like, I'm getting towards the end, and there's one stitch on that page in that color, whatever, screw it, I'm doing it in a different color. Like, I can't be bothered to do one stitch in one color. When you get that heavy in confetti, you can't tell. No one can tell. So, and some people, like, it must be exactly the way the pattern is. I don't care. Whatever. Sometimes I get really frustrated with a knot that happens on the back of my fabric. And we all know. Sometimes you know that you can pull on it a little, or you can run your finger out the end of the knot and it'll just pop out. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes those knots are the knots from hell, and they're not coming out, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Satan himself put that knot in your thread, and I just say, screw it, and I keep on sewing, and it's left on the back. And I know that's probably a major no-no, but okay. For Realz Tho, I dare you to show me your messiest back. It's probably my Heaven and Earth Designs. So it's like some crazy, crazy, messy, like when you got up in her. Let's just enjoy how crazy this is. Whatever, it's the back. A lot of people, like, it's important for them to have a perfect back. And, you know, that's fine, but I'm never going to look at the back of my piece. You can't tell from the front my back looks like that. And I actually kind of think that's pretty in a weird way. It's like some weird string art. Whatevs. Whatevs, whatevs. So there you go, Adele. There's your tag. There's also one that the Queen of Starts did called the Pearl tag. I was going to do that too. So, what irritates you most about cross stitch in general, and why? I get annoyed by how long it takes me to do a piece. Like, I know that it's about patience and enjoying it, but, and I know I said I'm a process stitcher, but sometimes you do want that finish, or you want to see progress faster. And I think that's one reason I post my pieces on Instagram every day, because I can go back and look at my picture from yesterday when I feel like I haven't gotten anything done and go, you know what, I did make some progress today. I did get something done. But I get annoyed by how long it feels like it takes some time to really see a difference in a project. And this is a weird one. I don't think I've heard anybody say this, but I feel like cross stitch has affected my eyesight some. And part of that was probably my fault, because I didn't necessarily have the best light that I was using when I was first stitching. My husband bought me a really nice Ott floor lamp, and I use that when I stitch, and I have a small Ott light that I bought on clearance that I have in our bedroom for when I stitch in bed. But I think that I was irritated by how much I felt like I was messing up my eyes, and that's my own fault. What designer irritates you the most, and why? I thought about these questions before, but there's not really a designer that irritates me. There's some designers that I don't like, but I mean, I wouldn't say that they irritate me. And I think any full coverage piece irritates me, but I'm trying to get over that, and I think it's the pure size of them. Now that the camera's on her, she's, okay, we're just going to lick our foot now. She was on her back rolling around making adorable kitten noises. Just not going to do that for you guys. But the pure size of them irritates me, because you guys know, you understand, you get it. What stitch irritates you and why? French knots. French knots, French knots. I can remember being a kid and French knots were like impossible. Stop. Yeah, stop. I couldn't do them. Like, they never looked the same, or they never looked the way they were supposed to. And I would hand them to my mom and be like, can you do these for me? And she would, and I'd get my piece back. And now I think I'll switch to doing beads instead of French knots, so I'll just avoid them completely. Yes, Norma. Stop. I will open the closet door so you can get in there. God forbid there's a door closed and she can't get in there. Anybody else have that problem with your cats? Like, you can't sleep with the door closed, you can't potty with the door closed, you can't shower with the door closed, lest your cat have a complete fit because they've got to know what's going on in that room. Okay, what irritates you about non-stitchers? I think that everybody should be as passionate about what I'm passionate about as I am. So, and I think I've said this before, where like I'll show a piece to my husband and be like, look at what I did. And he's like, yeah, honey, that's great. He's, you know, but, and that's one reason I'm so glad that I found this community, because you guys are passionate about what I'm passionate about, and you get excited about what I get excited about, or you at least act like you do. So, what irritates you about other stitchers? I'm going to play both sides of the field on this question. I'm going to give you a negative and a positive answer to this. I will say that my negative answer is, and this irritates me about people in general, it's not just stitchers. Like, when you're showing something, or when you're doing Kitty Thunderdome on the carpet, when you're showing something on a piece, or you've just shown a like a progress update, or you've shown a chart, and you have that person who's kind of a know-it-all, who is like, well, did you know? Or, well, what you should do is ask for your opinion. And, you know, that's just always been something that's been an issue for me. And I know that people, they mean well, but sometimes that irritates me. But, you know, people mean well. So I just tell myself that and move on. And anyway, the positive thing that irritates me about other stitchers is I've really met a lot of you guys and communicate with you guys through, you know, on here on comments, or we've become Facebook friends, or we message each other. And really, you know, some truly, genuinely wonderful people. So it annoys me that I don't have anybody really close by that, you know, I could interact with on the weekend, or we could do our stitching together and hang out. So, you know, you guys are too far away. That's what it is. And I think that Cowgirl Kate said the same thing. And I was like, you know what, she's really got a good point there. It's, the distance is annoying. I know I've rambled trying to answer these questions, and I've had kitty distractions and all that jazz. But while I have you here, before I go away, I will show some progress on Josephine since I did my last video. She's, her collar is really coming in, and I have stitched so much white and cream and grayish in her collar, and where her hat is being tied on with this piece of it. And I'm just kind of tired of white and gray and grayish, and I'm kind of over it for now. So I think that last night is going to be, and you watch me post a progress pic of her tonight because I'll keep working on her. But I think what I'm going to do is put her away until I want to work on her again. And I think I'm going to move over to, we're back to Angel of Love. Angel of Love needs some love. And honestly, the darkness of Josephine on this fabric, and this is a 32 count, And this is a lighter fabric, and this is 28. I think my eyes would really appreciate moving back to this one for a little while. So I think that's what's going to happen tonight. Now that I've pulled it out, I'm thinking that's going to be a great decision. And one of the things that I'm going to do is finish up the stitching in the bottom of the skirt. I'm not going to bead anything for a while, but I'm going to finish up the stitching and start in on the navy of the coat or the cloak. And I'm really torn. I may do some test stitching on this of 2/1 and or 2/2 and 3/2, because this is 28 count with that dark navy, and really see what I feel like works. Because I've seen people do the 2/2, and I'm not sure if I'm happy with that coverage. But I really want a loop start, so I might be annoyed by the 3/1. I'll probably end up doing 3/1. But anywho, that's it. Hope you guys enjoy, and I will talk to you next time. Oh, the next time that I'll be posting will probably be, my plan is that the next time I post will be on my birthday, because I'm planning to take the day off, and my day is going to be spent doing things that I love to do, and that's it. So making a video for you guys is actually something that I enjoy to do. So you're probably going to get a birthday video. So I'll see you March 25th. Bye.